Hello. Yeah. Uh, First of all, I'd like to thank, as a person, to Mr. Ravindra Jagasia. He was instrumental in getting this session planned, supported in execution, making the agenda, fixing the time for every speaker. Unfortunately, Vishal dropped out. Otherwise, it's a great thing. I want to give a round of applause with people who are here, please. First of all, one more thing, I'm very happy that we nearly had 100 people when the session was going on a second day in a Bangalore. So that's also a great thing. So thanks to all of you. You can applaud for yourselves. Okay? Thanks. Now I'm not going to ask any questions as a moderator. I'll straight away open it for delegates. And we're going to have a very short Q&A session because we want to close on time, 3:35, so there are a lot of people catching the evening flights, okay? So please.
Hello, congratulations you all for the presentation. My name is Luciano Boto from STAHL Brazil. I'm a product manager and president of CIPA, but here in Bangalore I'm representing our CEO. So my question is for Mr. Ravindra. First of all, my friend, I'm not against you, I'm for you, but I have a concern, which is a concern of many members of the OPAF. A concern that you have in our last face-to-face meeting last month in Amsterdam. One thing you think is very important in the process is, of course, the certification, but mostly it is the interoperability test, which is closed only for the suppliers. And since the beginning of last year, Petrobras is begging me to allow the end users to join the interoperability test, because it's a way for them to know who is really doing their job in developing open standard. Petrobras, different from the Exxon and the other companies, they don't have a test bed because of the compliance. They have the University of Campina Grande, that test the OPA's products for them to see if they're going to use the technology or not. So my question is there a plan, now that you are co-chair, to open the interoperability test not only for the suppliers, but also for the end users to see what's happened and whose company is really involved in it? Thank you.
Why me?
You're the co-chair and my friend.
But the objective of IOP is, or the interoperability test that we do, is for the vendors to test their prototypes, to test their proof of concepts, and to even test the standards which are being developed. So these are definitely not ready, and any end user or customer who comes in, he cannot take the right gauge that, hey, this vendor has done this job, this vendor is still developing, which is not the aspect we want to expose to the end users. The biggest and the best way Petrobras could do that is every vendor who claims that their product is OPA aligned or OPA ready, then they should test that product on their test bed with their integrator together. So that would be the ideal way to do it. Beyond that, there is the next step of certification. So when Petrobras finds, and we have completed our first stage of certification, Petrobras will know which products are certified, tested, and will work. So that would be the way they would know that you have a vendor who has a ready product. It is not a right as element of opening an interoperability test to the end users. And I don't know if you all will agree. Yeah. Okay, yeah, sure. I don't want it to be an OPAF meeting here, so
Okay. This is just a compliment because it is going in a way that is becoming a business-like, because we see that the big players, they are being most part of the test beds. And we have a lot of companies that are putting a lot of efforts in develop OPAS. So if it's really open, it's an opportunity for them to see and try to bring these companies in for their test beds.
what I would say, let us take this offline, have this in a discussion at the BWG group, because this is not a decision by me as a co-chair. It is a consensus to be done together with the OPAF working group for
Thank you
the
very much.
BWG.
Thank you.
So bring this up and then we'll definitely take it up.
Anyone else has any questions? That's interesting. So people are ready to say bye. Can I ask one question from my side? As someone presented from ExxonMobil, you have large number of installed base, maybe hundreds or 200s of DCS systems, and which has possibly proprietary DCS hardware. So this is one of the main reasons why OPAS came into picture. It's a sort of, you can take it as a vision question. How do you see, when do you see ExxonMobil migrating all to this? 5 years, 10 years, or I won't say the last word. Never, okay. Migration, because that's a big challenge. Because I worked in DCS for more than 38 years, so I know what it means for a migration, like migrating an HMI or a controller or IO, total replacement, new software introduction, HMI migration. I've seen everything. So, because I've seen this has been a huge effort by ExxonMobil along with the OPA team to come to this level, which I did not believe when we had the first presentation by ExxonMobil pre-COVID in our forum. Okay, I told that gentleman, I forgot his name. No, Mohan is boss. Somebody from. I said I have my concerns because having worked in DCS for a very long time, several product developments seen, several products been implemented, site tested, still it didn't take off much. So how an end user-led initiative will come up. So he gave me a good explanation, which I see a lot of things have happened. I'm very happy about it, but still, where are we with the starting point? Where are we at the start point of migration to interoperable, independent platforms and systems?
That's a great question.
I know, that's why I said.
Thanks for asking. So, yeah, I would say at this point, like, we don't have designs to say, okay, OPA is ready. Let's go rip out all of our incumbent DCS and put in a new OPA system. That's not going to happen. Okay. So that's way too expensive. So the way we see it is it's an opportunity for new greenfield. It's also an opportunity for brownfield extension of existing systems. So the OPA standard accounts for, hey, if you've got a brownfield system, you can evolve your way towards a more OPA-like system. You can bring in OPA components. You can leverage gateways, these types of things. So we think we're going to move for our brownfield systems. We'd like to move to a position where we could have more of a hybrid, right? Where you have a certain amount of the system it's a proprietary system. But if I want to add an extension, boy, it'd be great if I could put an OPA-aligned extension that interfaces with my incumbent system, and then that way I can evolve over time. Hopefully the vendors are also thinking about evolving their technologies over time and give us a way to evolve their systems again over time, right? So it could be components from a different supplier. It could be components from the incumbent DCS supplier that are more OPA aligned. That's how we see this going forward. We would like to see OPA continue to mature and become a candidate for larger systems, more complex systems. Again, we're kind of starting small, as Ravi mentioned. Got to start somewhere. So, but eventually we see us looking towards OPA conformance as being a requirement in future bid specs.
Thank you. What I see, one more issue is that when people start adopting OPA, the expertise at end users needs to increase. Engineering expertise and also the site expertise, because you are taking the responsibility of using that, like what Sunita said, multiple hardware. So you are taking the responsibility. The end users need to put more effort to become more technically knowledgeable to run the show. Anyway, still all said and done, the great initiative. One final round of applause to everyone. Thank you. I'll request Vidya to propose a vote. Oh, sorry, before vote of thanks, I'll take the moment. Sorry.